The Australian native wildflower industry has a huge potential to blossom over the next decade. One of the key figures cultivating this growth is Lana Mitchell.
We have this superb array of flora that grows natively here in Australia that nobody else has anywhere else in the world, that really lends itself well to floristry. And our industry, as it grows, is getting better at codifying and actually looking at how we can grow these commercially and sell them and make them available to the consumer for the cut flower industry.
Lana specialises in the fennel flower that she bred and commercialised, known as White Romance. She began her business just 5 years ago at her property in Gundaroo in the Southern Tablelands, but it was far from an overnight success.
I called up people on the phone, called up florists on the phone and said, look, I'm a local grower, I've got my first crop, they're beautiful quality flannel flowers, would you be interested? And I had a large number of them say no, which really shocked me at the time. So then I got all my flowers, put them into buckets and drove into town and went door to door, and I got a completely different response.
Today, Lana sells her flowers across Australia and exports to the US, the UK, Europe and Japan. She's also marketing her fennel flower and believes Australia should obtain breeding rights for other native plants.
Trying to encourage and build our own industry means getting others to have their own plant breeders' rights on specific breeds of our own flora, and controlling that and getting it released and commercially marketed here and overseas, so that we don't just end up having Eucalyptus grevillea, Banksia, Waratah, waxflower grown in China, Israel, Colombia and everywhere else. It should be Australia that's providing it, and if Australia's not growing it, then Australia should own it.
Lana is also editor of the Australian Flower Industry magazine. She's helping unify and educate the industry about the benefits of native wildflowers by running a national floristry design competition and an education campaign.
As of 2010, any new students that get trained in floristry will now learn what our wildflowers are, when they're in season, where they come from within Australia, and how to use them in floristry design.
Lana also juggles a busy career while caring for her 2 young children.
My boys are very much involved in, being down there with the flower buckets and helping me get the boxes wrapped up and palletised and onto the truck, and off they go. And so they get to see, and be part of that. And I think that's a really key part of a family as well.
If successful in the RIRDC Rural Women's Award, Lana hopes to use the bursary for a study tour of Europe to learn from their successful marketing campaigns and increase sales in the Australian domestic market.
At the moment, the average Australian spends some $25 a year on flowers. And really the potential, countries such as Switzerland, they spend $130 a year on flowers. So there's a huge potential just within our own population to get people buying more flowers and using and giving more flowers, not just as gifts, but for interior decorating and just to make you feel good. Flowers do make you feel good.